This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. I'm Gary Dick. Officials in Allen County say 2024 was a record-breaking year for both economic and community development. According to Greater Fort Wayne, Inc., the county saw more than $2.6 billion in new private investment and just over 1,000 new job commitments. Among the big deals, Google, which is currently building a $2 billion data center that is expected to bring 200 jobs to Fort Wayne and could involve additional phases in the future. Evansville Regional Airport is starting the new year with a new maintenance facility and new momentum. The maintenance building, nearly twice the size of a former structure. Evansville Regional added 3 flights in 2024, service to Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete, and a long-awaited return of service to Chicago. A former teacher in Lafayette has turned a hobby of designing custom lampshades into a growing business. Ashley Barclay is the founder of Admiral Landings Designs and says she started making her own lampshades after not being able to find any to her liking in the U.S. Now she makes them for an exclusive clientele of interior designers.
I would say about 60 to 70% of my sales are custom orders, whether it be they take things from the exclusive designs that I've done and kind of tweak it, or they just come up with their own thing.
From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
While construction has yet to begin, planning is continuing to move forward for Microsoft's planned data centers in St. Joseph County and LaPorte. That according to our partners at WSBT-TV. The tech giant announced plans for a $1 billion data center in the Radius Industrial Park in LaPorte. That effort expected to create up to 200 jobs by the end of 2032. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita on Tuesday released details of his proposed rule changes for attorney discipline.
The changes call on the Indiana Disciplinary Commission to quickly dismiss politically motivated complaints against attorneys and follow the same impartiality guidelines as judges. The proposals escalate ongoing differences Rokita has had with the Disciplinary Commission since he was reprimanded by the Indiana Supreme Court for comments he made in 2022 about a doctor who performed an abortion. He also became the subject of at least 3 more disciplinary complaints that dogged him throughout his re-election campaign last year. Rokita's proposal on disciplinary complaints would require that the complaints be based on personal knowledge of the situation, not politics. The proposal would have Indiana Disciplinary Commission members be bound by the state's rules of judicial conduct, which prohibit judges from publicly expressing their political views, endorsing candidates, or making political contributions. The Indiana Supreme Court's Rules Committee will meet later this month and is expected to discuss the proposed rule changes. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A former Assistant Secretary of Commerce for the Federal Economic Development Administration has been appointed as the Senior Fellow for Economic Development at Purdue University Northwest. The university says Alejandra Castillo will advance innovation and community development for the university, as well as for the Northwest Indiana and Chicago region. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.